there, food lovers, and welcome back to Stuff, the podcast where we talk about food, cooking our favourite ingredients, and ways to get creative and inventive in the kitchen.
It's hosted by me, George Egg, the snack hacker, and him, Martyn O'Dell, Lagom Chef. This is a podcast all about making food accessible, fun, and above all, delicious.
Absolutely. And each week we'll be talking about ours and our listeners' favourite stories.
And ingredients, and dishes.
And things.
And
it doesn't say that on there.
No, I know, but it
just says now. So head over to our socials at The Stuff Podcast to get involved.
That's my line.
I know, but you were bumbling.
Never mind.
There we go. And don't forget to leave us a review, a rating, subscribe, leave us a comment, be nice on all social media platforms. Thank you very much.
That is crucial, folks. Subscribe and tell your pals. It's a guest episode, folks, which is always very exciting. And our guest is...
It's your line.
Is it? Sorry, I thought it was just... Oli Paterson.
Oli Paterson. I was going to say, what's your second name?
It's supposed to be actually Paterson, but I always say Paterson because that's what everyone assumes it is. But my mum's like, Ollie, stop telling everyone it's Paterson. It's Paterson. You're giving them the wrong surname.
Okay.
Well, let's say
we met your
Paterson.
mum, so yeah, Paterson.
Oli Paterson.
Oli Paterson.
Oli Paterson.
Or, as everyone else knows you as... El Burrito, or are you the scran guy?
Are you El Burrito or El Burrito Monster?
Any of the above, you know.
I thought you were El Burrito Monster.
Well, I am El Burrito Monster, but LEB or Burrito Guy or Captain Scran, you know, whatever.
Brilliant. Because do you get pointed at a lot? People walk past and go, are you that guy?
It'll be like a pointing with Scran.
That's good, because I was out the other week and someone pointed at me and went, are you that guy for TikTok? And I just pulled my jumper down. I had my sleeve and went, yeah, that's the one. Yeah. I was like, fair enough. Like, yeah, it could have been someone else. Oh,
Do you like it? Do you like getting recognised?
Yeah, I do. I still at a point where when it happens, it's exciting. Yeah, there's a certain level I assume where it's like, it's annoying now.
Yes,
but
where you're being
not
sort
at
of
the annoying
rushed
level,
into limos.
I can
with
live
dog
my
glasses.
life very normally, and it's every now and again if I'm in a specific food-based setting or if I'm in the pub. Obviously, my target demographic is men aged 18 to 40. So places where those men dwell, typically. So if I go to the pub on a night out, I'll probably have about 10 people coming up to me and be like, oh, you're the burrito guy. Because if you hang around the pub all night, they'll eventually see you and come along.
And are they generally positive?
It's all been positive interactions.
Yeah.
I feel like any negative interactions only really happen on the internet because the people who are negative don't really go outside that much. So.
No, exactly. And I think they also feel like they're protected by this kind of suit of virtual armour, so they can go no like that.
Janice
So they
15573.
Yeah.
I don't like your meat. It says here, right, Ollie, you've got to give us a bit of a run through of how you got into food and when your career took off. I combined 3 words there together. You've got 2 minutes.
Always loved the food part.
Right.
Lockdown hits. I thought I was a good cook at the time. Looking back at it, I was a terrible cook. I've learned so much since then. But at the time, I was the best cook of my friendship group, and I was teaching them how to make different dishes and stuff. And made a few TikToks in lockdown to be like, here's how you make salsa, here's how you make guac, here's how you make cookies and honeycomb and your own sausage and egg McMuffin at home. And then a couple of these videos went viral on TikTok. So other people and my mates were watching them. I think first one was like 100,000 views. I was like, what? I made it. Even when I thought first saw like 600 views, I was like, 600 people saw that.
Yeah.
And it's like 100,000 people. Bloody hell, just me making cookies. And it was honeycomb, 300,000 views. And then it was basically McDonald's is closed in lockdown. I've got to make my own sausage and egg McMuffin. Here's how you make that. Did a little song jingle along the background to it, and that's when I got 3 million views. Ironically, when I made that, I was doing work on this other video that took me like days, and that video did nothing. It's just a weird thing with TikTok. Anyway, so making a few more viral videos, and then sort of I was working a job from home in lockdown, doing about an hour or 2 hours of work a day, which might, don't snitch.
Snitch yourself up now.
Not that it matters anymore, obviously.
All that furlough pay, yeah.
But I was like, rather than, playing Fortnite in my room during lockdown when I'm supposed to be working, I can instead make a few TikToks for a laugh. And I did that, went viral. Year and a half later, I started to get a couple of brand deals in. I was like, you know what? I'm living with my mum. Let's just quit my job, see if I can make this full time. So did that, went full time, took a pay cut for a few months, made things work. Eventually it went above what I was earning before, stayed above, thankfully. And then, luckily 3 years on, I've been full time for about 3 years. So
sorry, what was your job that you quit? Was it anything food related?
Stripper.
Well, it was technically supermarket food supply chain.
Oh, that's
management.
boring.
Yeah, super boring.
I thought you could have done
But
something like
still
really fun,
vaguely
like
food-related.
nudie waiter, or like something that would have like really stitched you up with lockdown.
Well, I wasn't as good looking then as I am now. Not to big myself up, but I lost about 7 stone since then.
I was going to say, like when you post some of your pictures and you're like, this was me. I'm always looking at it going, Really? I can't see it.
7 stone.
But the great thing about social media, it's a wonderful motivator to like get in shape.
Because those people, those trolls.
Well, I used to hide behind my camera and it'd just be my chubby hands in the video. Whereas then when I started to lose weight, I was like, I'm gonna hold myself accountable. So I set goals in my head. I was like, in a month, I'm gonna do one little topless shot in my TikTok. It's gonna motivate me for the next month to try and slim down a bit. And I'd do that progressively. So every now and again, there'd be a video where there's like a second where I just take my top off.
Here we go. So this is the nudie waiter. Maybe
And
this is the goal.
I was getting like thinner and thinner or whatever as I was going along. And now I'm at like a happy resting weight where I can kind of live my life and do whatever I want.
It's ironic that you were losing weight while producing the food content that you do that all looks like it's really going to do the opposite.
Well, that's the thing is that when sort of quit my job to go full time, I was able to like, okay, now I'm going to commit to some exercise. So basically I was like, right, every beer I have, I've got to run a kilometre or setting these various internal milestones. And I mean, at first when I was heavy, I was doing like loads and loads of miles, but getting like shin splints, back problems, having to go to the chiropractor because I was trying to lug around 135 kilos and jogging 5K or whatever.
135 kilos?
It's tough on your knees and your back when you're trying to do that. But nowadays, now I've lost it all those problems kind of just melted away. And now I can just run in it's a supposedly infinite amount of distance without actually getting any problems. Thankfully, being 27 probably helps.
I was going to say that, because when we met in Cornwall, when we went on that retreat, we both went into the sea in Cornwall and there a few photos got taken and Ollie was like, I'm trying to get a 6-pack for my holiday pictures. And I was like, fuck it ain't. So I got out of the sea and I was just like, is that what I look like? I think that was my motivator. And I haven't done anything about it, to be fair.
Well, I mean, similarly, when I was doing my videos and stuff, I mean, I lost 3 stone. I've put 2 of them back on, but it was when you're saying about your chubby hand, it was my wrists when I suddenly realised that I was getting like baby wrists almost, you know what I mean? Where you got that real line there and I was like, I can't deal with this.
Relatable. I did manage to vaguely get a 6-pack for about 2 weeks. Then I decided, you know what, this 12% body fat ain't worth it. I'd rather go up to 15 and be able to live a happy, comfortable life and eat whatever. So now I'm like a few percent more, don't have visible abs, but I got like, I don't know, whatever it is, but I can run and eat whatever I want without having to think about it. Because like at a certain point, the energy is sapped. Whereas now I kind of like don't even need to think about what I eat. I kind of just do it.
Yeah. But like in terms of like running and your health is out the window at the minute, or like incredible. I mean, like top tier fitness.
Well, my focus was for so long was all about just like aesthetics, appearance, getting like leaner, losing weight. Whereas now it's like, it's all about performance. I want to be able to lift more, run further, do X, Y, Z. It's way funner having those goals because it means you can just sort of like live a really fun, happy life, eat everything, train hard, eat hard, play hard. It's kind of like quite a fun way to do it.
It's like me 15 years ago. Can't wait for him to have kids.
It's like not me ever.
I'm going to enjoy my time before that happens.
Yes, exactly. Right, we've got some questions here. What is the craziest or most controversial meal you've made into a burrito?
These are questions we should have given you notice.
I've made about 1,000 burritos. So
I mean, they're all pretty crazy.
They're all quite crazy.
Let's say, what's your favourite? What was your favourite one that you were like, I love this one. This was a brilliant idea.
To be honest, it's probably just the really simple ones. Like when I just make like a really big like paratha, where we stuff with like Scotch bonnets and garlic and use that to wrap up some sort of like slow cooked lamb curry burrito. They're typically the ones that I'll enjoy eating the most. When I do something a bit too crazy, or if it's a bit like, oh, let's coat it in cheese and deep fry it, then I'm a bit like, I'd rather have skipped that step for my own eating pleasure, but it's
does the views. It's good for the views. Do you feel that like you've learned a lot more about the science of food by doing things and busting things?
It's lots of niche knowledge that no one ever needs to apply to their real world. So, but I can pass on that to other content creators who kind of try similar ideas. Because an example recently, what was the guy doing?
I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
What I love about your videos is this something that's developed over time, is the kind of the poetry of the, I mean, it feels like they're like sort of beat kind of, you know, spoken word bits of theatre almost.
Well, when I was first like sort of going viral, it was all, I was actually writing little song jingles. Now basically my voiceover process was having an iPad, a phone with the speaker and microphone sort of pressed up against each other, and I'd have a little card with my little jingle written on. So it'd be like beans and rice salad, some grilled chicken thighs, then I had my salsa, cheese and guac. So that song, when I sort of that sort of bit eventually got old, I transitioned and sort of just doing whatever, and then somehow just sort of like when I'm writing it, I just naturally have a cadence to sort of go towards like a rhythmic, poetic style of voiceover now. And
it feels like K Tempest or something. It's great. Brilliant.
Political movement. Here we go. Some more. How often are you cooking burritos? Do you grow tired of them?
Absolutely not, because I'm not even doing them just for content now. I'm doing them for dinner on many nights. So I'm probably having like 4 of them a week. But it's something about like, if you've got a plate of food, it's all spread out. Like, it's like, I've got to get a bit of this on a fork and spoon a bit of this on and do that. Whereas in a burrito, you just have a bite and it's all kind of like, there's a right level of mixed. You don't want everything all mixed and mushed together, but you want them all in a similar place to be able to like pick and choose your flavour without having to think about getting it onto a fork.
I mean, the size of some of yours, it's like, you can't get a bit of each. I mean, you'd have to have one of those kind of internet giant mouths as well.
If it measures the diameter of your mouth. I've got a pretty good gob.
Do you reckon you could do a whole El burrito in that gob?
I reckon I could give it a fair go.
Well, we can see about that later.
Find out in a minute.
Look, this is an idol one. This will stitch up. Do you know who's your idol? Do you have an idol? Apart from me and George? Jamie Oliver?
Probably not.
Jay Rayner?
This really is exactly what you were saying was the problem with the previous podcast.
Do you know who I think's a really cool guy? Is Henry Cavill. He's a good idol.
Who's that? Superman, right?
In terms
he's
of,
suddenly got really cool with long hair now, hasn't he?
Yeah,
he's all gone,
and he does like steak Sundays every Sunday, where he like gets some really sexy ribeyes on the barbecue, and he posts a little photo on Instagram.
Has he got a six pack?
Not sure if he does it at the moment, but he can do very easily. He's also jacked, and he's into some nerdy stuff. I think Henry Cavill's. He's
in one of the, I don't know which Mission Impossible film. He famously sort of reloads his arms. There's a fight scene in a. That's what it says on the. Have you seen that? The fight scene in the toilet with him and Tom Cruise and some baddie guy, and he comes in. He's been knocked about, and he sort of goes. Kind of, it's like he's going with his arms, and then he's back.
Double burrito arm. But the question is, what meal would you make for him?
Oh.
I'd make him a steak burrito. He loves his steaks. I like my burritos. But when you're making a steak burrito, the important thing is, which kind of hurts when you're making a steak or like a sort of a medium rare ribeye, you need to cut it up really small if it's going in a burrito. No like long strips. Because when you're biting it, you don't want to be like pulling strips of steak out as you go. So you kind of have to like do like slices and then do a dice to kind of like make each bite kind of pull away. So you have to like finally dice up a medium rare steak, which feels like a crime, but it's kind of an essential thing for when making it.
So it's like the happy medium after baby food.
Yes, like there's a middle point where you got like chunks that are about yay big. So it's a perfect little size.
There we go.
I'd eat that.
Sound like that.
I'd share that with Henry.
Yeah, exactly. Meet you in the middle. He can cook the steak. I can get all the sides, the beans, the rice, the salsa, guac, cheese, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
and we can burrito it, toast it off in a nice little tortilla, wrap it up. A bash.
Can we get an invite? I'll have an invite.
If it ever happens, I'll let you know.
Let's try and make it happen. I'm good at these things. I normally get hammered and message people, and sometimes things happen.
I've got another question.
Go on then.
When did the Centurion helmet and sword come into it, and why?
Those are relatively content-based purchases, but swords originally, I actually bought my first sword when I kind of got my first paycheck at age 17. I had to use my dad's name and ID to get off the internet, ordered 2 swords, because I've got my first job, I've got my first money that I can spend.
First swords.
Why not get a katana and a sort of a hand and a half sword type thing? So yeah, I bought 2 swords for, I think about 200 quid each.
But what's the love of swords? Is it like a history thing? Is it just a joy of sharp, long things?
I'd always go around like the garden sort of using a stick to either play sword fights with my mates or sort of hack it against the tree. Problem is that bit's fun. But when you get a metal sword, you can't really do that anymore. So it's kind of like, I want to get a real metal sword. We can't actually do sword fights with these.
You've chopped all the trees down.
All the trees are, you start hacking away. The trees are now barkless. So I had those 2 swords. Then I started making videos and I was like, I could get the swords involved in the content a little bit for a bit of extra sort of like, bit of extra pull,
and claim them as expenses.
Yeah. Well, I've not actually claimed back the first 2 swords expensive because they were so long ago that they were purchased. So now I've obviously bought like 4 more swords and a Centurion helmet. Those all through the business,
obviously,
because it's not like I'm using them in my personal life. I'm not walking. I'm not going to Roman conventions where I'm going with my gladius and thingy. I'm actually running an ultra marathon in June, which runs the length of Hadrian's Wall and ends in Newcastle. So I'm debating. It's 100 kilometers, and I'm debating maybe not doing the whole thing in a Roman helmet, but at least maybe like crossing the finish line in one.
I think
but then that'll blend over into personal use, and unless you film content.
I'm filming it. Of course. I'm not going to do a 100k race and not content it. Like
we had this conversation earlier though, and it's like one of those things. Like, at what point do you sort of switch off of filming every piece of content or every experience you do? It's like, can you just enjoy a run?
Well, I don't think you can enjoy a 100-kilometer run.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never done one. I've only run 50 kilometers as my max before, so we shall see how much I enjoy it. But I'm going to have a backpack full of scran. I'm going to make a fun little video of how many burritos do I need to eat to run 100 kilometers. I'm gonna make them like maybe about yay big. So do you want to pre-hazard a guess how many it's gonna need to run the 100k?
100, one every kilometre, and loads of Imodium.
That's a big backpack.
I reckon 20.
You think I'll need 20 burritos about yay size to do the 100 kilometers?
I mean, I'm just guessing.
Yeah, me too.
It's over about 14 hours. I'm hoping to finish it in. So
2 an hour, 28.
Okay,
so we'll find out.
When is it?
Yeah, 14th of June. But I'm also.
And you just did the London Marathon as well, of course.
I did.
How did that go?
Well, it was really fun. Really, a really hot day. Really hard, but the vibes were immaculate. And I would recommend. I mean, the ballot's closed now, but entering the ballot because it was really fun. And also, basically, I had my name on my thing, and I announced I was doing it. So I basically had someone shouting, "Oli, burrito man, scran," every like couple hundred meters. So my arm was getting tired from going, thanks. So I'm not sure. I mean, the vibes sort of helped me along, but I don't know whether those counteracted all the arm lifting energy expenditure.
Strava was really confused. What's he doing? Is he running? Or is he swimming? Or what's he doing? Sword fighting? Who knows?
Did you eat burritos during the run on that?
Absolutely not. I did try to do that with a half marathon once when I was running with my sister, and I did get heartburn and indigestion.
Right.
Probably shouldn't have put Scotch bonnets inside those ones that I was doing.
Because Gilby did 26 wines.
Well, and I think he said, wasn't it
every mile?
Oh, no, yes, it was every mile. And then he said he alternated swallowing and
gobbing, spitting.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, so
what a man.
What a man. What a hero.
You had him on?
Yeah. First guest, mate.
I've not
Christmas
seen that
episode.
I'll have to have a little cheeky gander.
Very nice, very silly.
Very funny. Right, so we're going to move on to question of the week.
Each episode, we have we pose a question at the start, we muse about it, and then we.
Surely Ollie's got to know
the
this.
answer.
Have you seen the question?
I saw the word burritos in there. I'm going to read it out. I know this because I did my research. The Mexican dish burritos is named after which animal?
Oh, sorry.
Well, we know. I knew.
Yeah, I didn't know.
But now you do.
Now I do.
Anyway, we'll come back to that later. So, Burrito Masterclass. Ollie, you've brought in stuff.
I have.
Do you want to go and get some stuff?
I'll go get some stuff.
So while Ollie go get some stuff, for those of you who haven't listened to the podcast before, we do like ad break. The star ingredient or dish of the week is a point where we talk about a specific dish or ingredient. That's because we've got Ollie here.
It's got to be burritos.
It's got to be burritos. I mean, if we did tripe, it would have been weird.
Okay.
Right, Ollie, Masterclass. My first question about a Masterclass. Wraps. Are these specifically... What have you lost?
Those.
Are these a specific good brand? Or?
These are the brand of choice. It's a very common brand.
Yeah.
Various burrito chains use them. Some don't because they're quite expensive relatively.
Okay.
They cost about 30p a wrap, even when you buy them wholesale. So when you calculate the cost of burritos, some go for the 10p option. But these are the best ones that I've personally found that are readily available in the UK.
What brand are they? Just so
they're
people
Poco
know.
Loco 12-inch flour tortillas.
Love a 12-incher.
But they actually, some of them end up being about 13, 14 inches if you get lucky in a pack.
She gets lucky.
So I'll always go for it. If I find a little 13, 14 incher in there, I'll be,
is it like pulling a Pokemon card?
But basically, I will make sure I save the big ones for content, and the smaller ones I'll have as my little snacky burrito wrap.
So much euphemism.
I'm just making faces at the
You're going to be
camera
able
for all of this.
fit them in your gob. My question is, like, they get pliable. Do we have to warm them up first? What's the steps? I want to know inside.
Normally, you want to warm them up first. You can do that on a Barbie, do it on whatever. Actually, the way the shops make them really pliable and flexible and also strong is they've got those little pressy thingies.
Yeah.
So I don't have one of those. That's soon on my little...
What do you mean pressy?
It's like two flat tops that basically press
sort of
together and it like squashes the tortilla and it basically really like strengthens the structure while heating it up.
Like a panini press.
And that's how the shops can really get them flexible.
Right.
But any kind of heating works. So we'll just like stick it on a pan for a sec.
They will stick it on the pan. I'll do that bit.
It's got tape on there, look.
Oh, fuck.
Martyn.
Sorry.
Just assaulting the...
Sorry, mate.
It's going to look like the mice have been at it now.
No. Right, here we go. What's next? I'll warm these up.
Right, so do you both want to try wrapping a burrito, or should
please.
I do
You
one?
bet.
Right, there we go.
You do one as well.
Well, no,
let's all do them.
I wanted to challenge you both to try and fit all of them in the wrap, so we'll see who pulls it off best. I'll do it with a naked wrap to
Can
try
we do
and
it like ghosts? Maybe like you stand behind me.
I'm going to do it with a can to demonstrate technique.
Okay. What's the difference between... What's all the different things? There's burrito, there's fajita...
Can you do it in the microwave?
Enchilada...
I think
all that.
burrito definition is with beans and rice, I think. That's what separates it. There's so many different ones nowadays. So a fajita is...
It's warm already.
What? A fajita is it... I don't even know the definition of a fajita. I think it's the specific spice blend, maybe. Do you know what the definition of a fajita is?
Well, fajita probably has got an open end.
You got quesadillas, tortas, tacos.
Quesadilla is where it's like that, and then well,
you could do a double fried one.
Enchiladas, where they're recooked with sauce on the outside, I believe, is the definition of that.
Chimichangas, that's deep fried, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Deep fried crispy bits.
Yeah.
So of course you can you can use foil when out wrapping a burrito, but I consider that cheating. It's it's what they do in shops to make it easy for anyone to be able to wrap them. But really, you want an open-faced toasted burrito that actually holds it all in while also being like toasted.
I guess it's all about the ends, isn't it?
So here's your board.
Great. That looks
right. So pick one of these each. That's spicier. That's less spicy.
Shall I have spicy?
Yeah. Oh, because you're not thinking with spice over here.
We had a wine list.
You should be able to wrap.
We had a wine list in the future.
All of this.
All of this should be wrapped.
Everything. Should we just go straight in?
Yeah, just tip it upside down. I've wrapped all of this before, so it should work.
Wow.
Okay. So strategy first, you want to get these lips, fold them all the way across the burrito from side to side, like that. No, two.
Oh, there's a lot of rice in mine.
Either side.
And yours.
Either side, Martyn. And they say, fold those across, then press down.
Press down.
Press down and really compress
like
the filling
this?
in. Yeah, the fillings are loosely, sparsely populated.
Yeah.
Right. Also, now rotate it so it's on the board and it's not going to, all the fillings
go
aren't
all the
going to
way
fall
till
off.
they're meeting.
Not till they're meeting.
No,
just get them in nice and then use that to compress the filling.
Oh, shit.
Oh, God, I got on my hands now. This is like
All right.
like breakfast
Really
television.
compress it down and then get this top lip. So you need to do it a bit more side on.
Miss Saigon.
You've probably gone too far with the fold across there.
Oh, mate, come on.
Do it the other way now. Do it the other way now. So fold it across the other direction. So I feel like George is a natural at this. I think he's wrapped a burrito in his time.
Not tempt fate.
I mean, I've wrapped a burrito, but these instructions,
There's
I'm
so
like,
much in
I thought
this.
it was a masterclass.
But it is.
How about I take over yours and use it to demonstrate to George?
Okay.
Right.
I'll just sit back and watch.
I'm
Right.
really looking forward to eating this.
Right. So then, we're going to try and redo this a little bit. So right across, compress that filling in.
Yeah.
We're going to rotate it that way to make it a bit less. So we've got an actual rolly platform. And then with this top lip, we're going to pull this right across, compressing the filling in with your fingers as you go. You kind of need to get your fingers a little bit involved.
Yeah. Oh, it's hard, isn't it? This is the tricky bit now.
Because you got those podgy kid fingers.
And when you got to this step here, you got a little lip that you want to leave as open of fillings as you can. So
do you lick that bit?
Well, it's already a little bit wet from the fillings, so sort of pull back all that rice in. So use your fingers and just claw it back in. It's obviously if you're
nice hygiene.
You'd use gloves maybe if you're in a restaurant or have washed hands or whatever.
Honestly, if my mate Neil's watching or listening, we went for a tortilla, and I won't mention where we went or how potentially large this person was that was serving us, but her there we go, juggernauts were covered in guacamole. Because she was just like leaning,
Wow.
yeah.
And you've rolled it all the way across now, have you?
Well, I've tried, but it's all coming out the end.
Well, you've skipped the final step.
Oh, sorry.
We're supposed to pause with a lip.
Pause, George.
Right.
Pause with the lips.
And that point there is then where you, both lips on either side, you want to fold these in and compress in those sides like that. So you use two fingers and go like that.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, look, I made a right
George,
fix here.
I mean, I was doing a really good job.
Bring all these bits in.
Okay.
And then those lips need to go underneath this. So that goes on the outside of those lips, like there.
My God.
So
What goes on the outside of what?
imagine, so that this bit, you want this bit to be fully flat. So
Yeah.
that goes in like that.
Okay.
And that goes over the top. That goes in like that. And that goes under the top.
Just making two belly buttons either side.
And use this now to pull all the rice back into the burrito like that now. So you can kind of put your hands on either side like that.
Yep.
Pull it all back. And then the final roll. And it's wrapped.
Oh, I think nearly there.
You jumped the gun with the final roll.
I did. I got a bit
little
too excited.
Still not bad.
That's not too
now
bad, is it?
Martyn's
But-
going to pass as a pan.
Oh, I can do that bit.
So this is where you could easily put us in foil and cheat, but we're going
to be actually really
do
hot.
it. So put it on the board. I think it should be fine. Lay it in there. Make sure the seam is fully on the bottom because the idea is it's going to stick those two sides of the seam together. I'll help you place it in like that.
Oh no!
Oh no!
We'll do a little bit of try and do a little bit of a tucky. There we go. And we'll let them sit in a pan on low heat just to sort of glue those together for about like 30 seconds or so.
Okay, low heat.
Great. So what was in those?
So these are just burrito bowls I got from your tortilla down the road because I've got a little black card and I thought that's what we'll use to wrap them
You
up.
didn't cook it?
So those are
Come
actually...
on, Ollie!
Those are actually... There's more stuff than you would get in a normal tortilla burrito, purely because they put more rice in the bowls. So there's more rice and the same with everything else.
And because you turned up there like, it's him. It's that guy.
Well, they don't know until I whip out the little, here's my VIP card.
And here's my social media.
That's a thing that I get irritated by when I have burritos from restaurants often, is the too much rice. It always feels like it's sort of being padded out.
There was a burrito thing in my canteen at uni, which was one of the most dreadful burritos I've ever tried. It was called Fountain Canteen. They used to do burritos, and they were literally like 70% rice, 20% bean, and 10% meat, and they were the beans just purely like refried out of a can, no seasonings or anything. Horrible.
I've got a question to sort of semi-rewind all the way back. Why El Burrito Monster?
Basically, family holidays when I was a kid, a few of them were in Mexico. So went to Mexico, and at one of the local, in the hotel canteen buffet then as well, there was a burrito station. Became weirdly obsessed with burritos. And there was like a burrito shop that opened in Manchester near me as well. So just me being like a 13, 14-year-old kid started to become a little bit, I love burritos now. I think I got a PlayStation for Christmas one year. And my old gamer tag back in the day was Super Ski 5 because I like skiing. I was like, Super Ski 5, that needs a bit of an upgrade, doesn't it? So I named my gamer tag El Burrito Monster. And that just kind of stuck. So when I downloaded TikTok...
When did you get the tag?
I see. So you were El Burrito Monster before you started doing the burrito content. So you were El Burrito Monster, but making cookies.
Easy tiger. Oh, okay, cool. We're going to do the other sides as well.
Oh,
in fact, that one. You see, I've not followed my own rule very well because I've not laid the seam fully underneath, so I've not glued it very well.
Just spit on it.
So what I'm going to do is roll it a little bit further and just. So yours is actually better there, George.
There's some real weight in this pan.
52.
Senor El Burrito. Right, who's going to eat? Because we're all just going to be going, hang on. We should all go, scran.
Oh, yeah. Hold
See
on.
if we can time it. What did you do? Scran. Right, okay.
It's got multiple ironic meanings that my friend reminded me the day I originally did it to take the piss out of him. But basically, he's called Sean, but we used to call him Scran. But he used to be like, Scran.
Scran. Right, so do we have to do it at different pitches? You go first, you go, and I'll go last.
All right, I'll go kind of like scran.
Okay, ready?
Scran.
Scran.
You can't beat a burrito, can you?
This is so good.
If you could improve it, well, we shouldn't really say this, but if you could improve anything from tortilla, what would you do? More seasoning to the rice.
Less rice.
Less rice. More chicken.
More chicken. More meat.
I'd say the salsas need to be a bit, more like, have more body to them. They're quite loose.
Can I have a go on that sauce?
There you go.
Many thank yous. This is great.
Which sauce did I have? I can't remember.
This is nice.
Well,
Sorry,
shame
we have to talk.
Yeah, shame we have to share. Nah.
We'll give you a bit of that one.
Yeah, great. This one's got a little bit of a poke to it, isn't it?
This one's basically like a mango chutney meets hot sauce kind of vibe. So got the vibe to it. I've also bought a little... I thought I'd channel my inner snack hacker with
Get it out.
I'm excited about this.
with a secondary... and also channel my inner food waste expert, is it? Or food waste... Disruptor, is that the one?
Disturber.
You whetted our appetites by mentioning this before. Tell us what it is you're going to make.
Do you want me to bring it
So,
over?
you can bring the box over. It hasn't held too good in transit, but we'll have a little gander.
Both of them, or just...
Yeah, both of them. Bring them both.
Everything's so heavy that you cook, Ollie.
Is it heavy? Can I feel the weight?
There's that one.
Oh, yeah. God.
And there's that one.
Oh, my God. There's so much food. This is fantastic. It's like best picnic.
We had 2 small bits of lamb on George's.
That
was 2 weeks ago.
Oh, that was in the future.
I heard this concept mentioned in a Reddit post on a underseasoned barbecue podcast, and thought I wanted to bring it to life. So this here is
Hot sauce on my glasses.
I was talking before about having food on a plate all spread out is like, you'd rather have it all together.
Yeah.
Kind of, but not fully mixed through. Full English is a good example. You know, you got your plate, but you're going to, I might have a bit of that, bit of this. So this little here is a little pie with a full English layered up inside. So we've got just basic supermarket puff pastry, punch a bunch of beans in, and then some sausages, bacon pressed in, black and white pudding, mushrooms, tomatoes, crispy hash brown pieces, a bit of cheddar on top. Top lid, egg washed and air fried.
Is there a cup of coffee in there as well?
Unfortunately not, no.
Some cereal.
And this is a hollandaise that is questionably held up in transit. The pot has not contained all of the hollandaise.
That's one of our wines, isn't it? Oh yeah, no, that's not. That's a good wine. Terrible Tupperware.
Yes. Cheap rubbish Tupperware.
This is just a reused hummus pot. So
terrible Tupperware.
I really like the Faye pots. They're good.
Yeah.
The big Faye top. They're my.
They're very crackable though, aren't
Still
they?
relatively runny, actually. I basically.
Do you want a spoon?
I made my hollandaise this morning. I tried to transport poached eggs.
For anyone who's not watching this, it looks like
a squashed
sort of
poached egg.
testicles.
We're still going to lay it on top of our pasty.
Yeah, it looks like mango.
Because the great thing about having
there's no egg in there as well. So this is the only egg
on this one,
element.
because I feel like it's going to go everywhere.
Oh,
do you think we should
put it on the big board?
Yeah, there we go.
Board.
Big board. Here we go.
We've got to get rid of the flavours of the other things.
No, don't worry about it.
So luckily, the shit poached egg, we can just cover it
Oh my god, this is
in hollandaise.
We should get some photos of this.
So there's that. I could do with sprinkling some paprika on top, but I don't have any. We'll go for a little bit of this on top or something, and we'll go that. Oh,
this is so decadent. It's fantastic.
We'll go 3. It's the rule, isn't it? You got to do 3 splodges of stuff.
That's it. Break it up.
Right. So here is our Greg's Benedict.
Holy potatoes!
Oh, wow.
I didn't invent the concept. I saw it somewhere. I can't remember where. I will figure it out before I post my video.
Are we gonna cut this, like, get a cross section?
Yeah, we're not going to get a yolk running down the side like you'd ideally want to.
We could squeeze out of this.
But what? oh.
I'm just taking pictures. It all just looks.
Here's our.
Oh my god!
Our Greg's Benedict. I'll show you, George. There's a.
That's beautiful.
Just a full English in a pie with a questionably poached egg on top.
Looks good to me.
Have a corner.
Great.
I'll give you a corner.
Oh my god! Thank you, Ollie. You've made so much.
I've actually already had one of these for breakfast this morning.
A whole pie.
I left half for the missus, but yeah, I've had half a pie. I probably made the mistake of smoking the full English.
I was about to say, it's so smoky.
Which probably was a bad idea because it kind of, full English doesn't have enough flavour to handle the smoke. So I think it just tastes kind of like smoke a little bit.
I love it though. I love smoke.
This is beautiful.
I also have not found a good local butcher yet. This is just from the nearest one that I found to where I've just moved to. So I need to scout out to find where the good ones
use
are.
Lidl all the time.
This has been absolutely amazing. Ollie, thank you so much. What a brilliant masterclass. I think an applause for the masterclass. Way!
I've got sausage roll in my hands.
And I do feel like we really should take all of these leftovers, smash them together and put them in another.
No, I love baked beans. And I know Americans at the moment mock us Brits for our baked bean use, but I do love baked beans.
Oh, Americans. What do they know about food?
And also their cheddar's shit. Beans and extra mature cheddar.
I love beans, but I still don't like them with a full English. Sorry.
It's all right, mate.
True.
What's your thoughts on a full English with like standard baked beans out of a can versus their homemade fancy beans with like 3 different kinds of beans in and it's all this and that?
Out of a can.
I would say, yeah, if I'm going to have them, I like a can and like from a horrible calf or a ferry boat or something like that.
Yeah.
But
I mean, if you wake up, you're not going to go, I fancy a full English and get around to making the beans. Would you? You would.
No, but although I have made them in the past, and my freezer is a cornucopia of that sort of stuff. So I do have a little Tupperware of homemade beans in the fridge of various types of beans as well. So I might microwave those.
How weird does your freezer look?
Honestly, weird.
How big is your freezer?
I've actually just moved. So before I moved, it was very, very random. But I've now categorised it as part of the move. So I've currently got 3 freezers in my new gaff. One of them is like still empty. I haven't filled it up yet. 2 of them, it's categorised. I've got 2 bread drawers. So I've got various flatbreads and other things and homemade breads. I've got obviously raw meat at the bottom and then various, like at the top's like half burritos and food leftovers. So I think the most half burritos I've ever had in my freezer at one time is I think 17. Before I got around to giving them away, just saying, oh, who wants them? So I just sort of wrap them up in foil and see who wants a bag of frozen half burritos. They can snack on them for lunch.
I got a message from a girl after we were in Cornwall, and she went, "How does he have a body like that with all of the food that he cooks?" And I went, "Well, he clearly doesn't eat it all." And she went, "Oh yeah."
well, it's while I was losing weight, I don't think I ate a whole burrito during that entire period. I think only since I stopped losing weight have I actually started eating full burritos again. It was always half, wrap it up in foil. So that was part of the weight loss.
There you go. Well, bloody hell.
3 freezers.
3 freezers.
So each week we have a section called Britain's Favourites where we talk about a dish like a burrito or whatever else, and talk about how we might improve it, what we do with it, our thoughts on it. And this week it's
Falafel.
falafel. What are your thoughts on falafel?
I think it's a little bit dry. I think it needs stuff. It's like it's not a thing in its own right. It needs a nice saucy dip. And I actually gave some thought about how I'd improve falafel because I've been thinking about some falafel ideas, like little stuffed falafel balls. I guess if you have a little molten centre, could be.
Like it's almost like
better.
a Kiev, like a mini Kiev, but falafel.
Falafel, and you can keep it veggie and vegan and all that. You could just put a little bit of like harissa in the middle, or something like that, and still have a dip on the outside because it needs wetness. Falafel is literally, let's take hummus and remove all the moisture, all the nice things about hummus, and let's make it a dry ball.
Yes, I'd say it's one of those things. If I go to some, Lebanese place or whatever, I'll always go for the meat option. Nikki, my wife, will always go for the falafel because she doesn't eat meat. And I always like, although then I'll try. There's a place in Brighton called Canby's that does a really good one, and then I'll have food envy of her falafels, but they put, like you say, it's all the stuff around the falafel.
Tabbouleh and all of the fresh herbs
and a tahini dressing and a nice chili sauce.
When did deep frying stuff get invented? I assume the first falafel was deep fried. I don't know.
Probably when they figured out fire.
Well, oil though, you got to have decent oil for it. And they didn't really have cooking oil. Oh, I guess animal fat.
Animal fat, human fat, cavemen. They probably, I don't know. He probably just cooked a mate and then was like, oh, what's all this stuff rendering out of him? Oh, it's fat.
Let's
make some falafel.
We should have some, any vegetarians? I'm vegetarian. Oh, we'll do you a falafel then in the human fat.
They couldn't be picky back then. They were probably just like, this is tasty food. We haven't got any animal. We'll put some grains together and we'll make something.
Do you know what would be really fun? Is going back in time to like ancient Egypt or ancient Mesopotamia or China and seeing what the food was they were eating and just be like, go and have a little dabble. It probably, by our today's standard, was awful.
Yeah, well, when I went to Hever Castle, they were talking about like King Edward's diet, and they were basically saying that vegetables were classed as like poor person's food. So that's why all they lived off was meat, potatoes, and bread and wine. Henceforth, gout.
The classic.
The classic gout.
Which he thought he had once.
And they had salt back then, but salt was expensive as well.
Oh.
Salt was quite expensive back then as well, wasn't it? Like,
yes, it was used.
You had to be rich to have seasoned food.
As money, essentially, wasn't it? Hence salary.
Do you know what I'm going to make soon? I'm going to make a falafel inside a falafel inside a falafel inside a falafel. I'm going to do like a layered, like the Earth's core, but in falafel layers.
Like Inception. We were talking about in the future.
And then figure out how to make it palatable rather than just one big ball of dry falafelness. Yeah. Maybe like you do cut a slice out of it and top it. You can like dress it with like hummus and sauce. So you got like one big disc of layers of falafel from the middle. And it's like different colours of falafel as you go out and you top it with, you smear hummus, and, a little decorated pattern you do where you do smear of a teaspoon, smear of another teaspoon, smear of another teaspoon.
Yeah.
Do that, but on a big disc of concentric layers of falafel.
That'd be nice.
Coming soon to a For You page near you.
Have you guys ever made a traditional style falafel? Yes, no?
I've only ever made it from packets, which is just rubbish, I know. I've never done it from raw ingredients.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I always wing it. I don't follow anything. I just sort of blend chickpeas and other things. And
okay, good question. Have you ever made a variant of a falafel, e.g. a sweet potato spinach one? I have, but then I wonder how far it veers away from being a traditional falafel.
Yes, and just becomes a rissole.
Yeah, or just a blob.
Yeah. I think that sweet potato makes it better because there's more moisture in. Like my critique of falafel is they're so dry.
Yeah. Well, I always do a sweet potato and quinoa one and mix it all together, but then it's just like little fried patties. It's not really a falafel. I wonder what keeps the name falafel.
Do we know where the name falafel comes from, Sadie?
The last time I made falafel was for the family for an Easter feast, maybe last Easter, not the one just gone. But to make it with my sister, she was on the falafel duty. It was her thing, and I was trying to get the ball rolling, getting the falafel fried. And basically, she's quite possessive with her things in the kitchen. We don't cook very well together, and apparently my falafels were too big. I was doing sort of tablespoons of falafel mixture, plonk it in, and apparently they're not like single bite size. So she picked it out of the oil and lobbed it against the window, and it splattered. And
falafel complex.
Can you swear on this podcast?
Fuck yeah.
Your falafel are too fucking big. As she lobs it. And I let her handle the rest of the falafel.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do this part. Do you know listeners' questions and stories? It's basically where the listeners send in a question or a story. We'll either answer it or talk about it. Right, so Tina's written in, I have several bags of different pasta shapes in the back of my cupboard, but not enough of any type of pasta to use alone. Are there any recipes that work well with a mix of pasta shapes? Is that a question?
Well, I mean, it's got a question mark at the end, so yeah.
Yeah, but does someone need to ask that?
I just have a real problem with mixing pasta shapes. It
I
really
feel
irritates me.
uncomfortable. Yeah, I don't like that now.
Yeah, it just feels wrong to me. I don't know why. It just feels annoying. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. This is just like in my
I think what
brain.
she's going to have to do is she's going to have 2 separate pans and boil the 2 separate kinds of pasta separately.
I don't know if she's
and make
talking
2
two.
mini bowls of pasta.
She might be talking like 3 or 4. I mean, I know what she means because I will often have, like
A bit of fusilli and a bit of
15 grams of this and 30 grams of that. And
I feel like people just overthink food. Just cook it and eat it.
I don't know, of course.
Put a bit of sauce on it, some cheese.
I know
eat
that's
it.
the right answer,
All
but it's
goes
not
down
what's
the
in
same
my
line.
brain.
What she's done wrong here is when she had 1.5 portions of pasta left in a bag, she should have done the whole lot and just have a little bit more pasta that evening. Leaving half a portion in the bottom of a bag, that was the mistake she made. Eat a little bit more the previous time you eat it.
Or just have a child. They normally eat the minusculous amount of pasta.
So the other thing that I find problematic with it is they do have different cooking times, and despite what it says on the packets, that's not always, sometimes that's right, sometimes it's out, and so it's hard to, so you'll put the thing that takes longer in, and then you put the next thing in thinking, all right, well that'll take a bit less, and then that one's still bitey and the other one's gone.
Well, if it's a real issue, just do what Ollie said, just cook them in separate pans, have 2
yeah,
separate
but what
bowls.
if you've got like 6 different pasta
Well,
shapes?
it's your fault for doing that.
Yeah, every time she should have pre-planned out. Have you ever
I just think
bought?
people are just like utterly, I can't say the word, but stupid with like things in their kitchen. What do I do with half a cucumber when the recipe asks for a whole one? Just fucking eat it. It's not that hard, is it? With pasta, just cook it and then put in some sauce and put some cheese in it and eat it.
Have you ever bought
Or just roll it up in a bloody burrito.
Have you ever bought the pasta from TK Maxx that they send these bags and they're weirdly big sizes of pasta, and a piece of pasta is about yay big and a shell that's like that big?
Yeah, the coglioncinis.
Yeah,
TK Maxx.
Yeah, they sell it. And it's
sell
always like
pasta,
giant pasta. It's like near the checkout. It's like, I want to get some sexy big pasta.
And it's really always pale.
Yeah, and it takes like 18 minutes to boil because it's so thick.
Yeah.
I can imagine TK Maxx being the sort of place where they would sell sort of like, hen night pasta. Yeah.
Lots of colourful stuff like black pasta, green pasta, pink pasta. And they always come in massive bags like that with a foil wrapper.
Do you know what, that's another thing I don't like is
We'll come on to the wines in a minute.
Is pasta like when you got 3 different colours in the bag.
I love that, the tricolore pasta.
No, I don't like
What is your least favourite pasta shape, and why is it farfalle? The little bows suck, right?
I like them. I like them for a terrible pasta salad.
I don't like the fact that the centre where they're squashed is always underdone before, and then the outside's overdone.
Oh, I quite like
I like the ones that look like a little brain. You know, the ones that they're like about yay big, and they're like got ribs around the outside.
Yeah, the shells.
Yeah. I don't know what they're called.
Orchetti.
Could be that.
Do you mean the one that looks like it's been done by pushing a thumb and it's got slightly...
Imagine it looks like it's a piece of pasta about yay big, and it's just like ridges of pasta going all around the outside. I can't remember what it's called.
I think it's called orchetti. It's the one that's done with a knife. That you go like that, and it kind of curls over on itself.
I'll research what the ones I'm thinking of called, but yeah, it's somewhat brain-like.
Okay,
yeah.
I'm not a fan of the
Spaghetti's my favourite.
The one that looks like a macaroni but is twisted. The smaller ones.
What, like a little elbow kind of thing?
Yeah, it's sort of just a little twist.
Is it like a spirale? Is it like a squiggly spiral?
Small, yeah, really small. Like a... Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, not a fan of that.
I like that one.
What are your
Small
thoughts
ones,
on
because it's the mouthfuls. I'm like, all falls off.
wholemeal pasta? Wholemeal pasta?
Don't dabble, no.
No, I don't like it.
I had quick cooked spaghetti last night because it was all I had in the cupboard.
Is that the one that's got a kind of groove down it? So actually, if you look down the end, it's more like a little C than a circle.
Yeah. But then you boil it when it comes to the right thing, but you forget because it's so like that. It basically, while you drain it and leaving it to the side for a minute, it then carried on cooking. So I ended up having slightly overcooked spaghetti for tea last night.
Lovely.
Don't go for quick cooked spaghetti.
We
Just-
always say this, don't we?
It's
Like, we
not
always
worth
go,
it.
What you having for dinner tonight? I was like, butter and pasta.
Yeah,
a slice of
I-
toast.
Tuesday nights is the night when Nikki goes to London to look after our grandson, so I inevitably end up having crisps and cans. So, not ideal. Wines. So the wine, do you know about the wine list? The wine list is where people comment with their sort of irks and their complaints from the food world, things that get on their nerves. Like, for example, me not liking tricolor pasta. But I mean, that's not going to go on the list because
No.
he doesn't agree. So sometimes they get on the list, sometimes they don't. Sometimes we solve them. And the first one comes from BT, it's very simple. It just says overuse of truffle/truffle oil.
Yeah, get it on there.
Yeah.
But the thing is, truffle oil isn't technically got any truffle in it. It's like truffle essence.
There must be some good ones that do.
Yeah,
surely,
but most of the stuff you'll get, if you look at the back of the
cheap
back
stuff.
of the packet, back of the
Yeah.
bottle, it will just say truffle essence or the essence of truffle. It just smells like gas. We used to do it all the time at the cookery school and put it on pasta with Parmesan cheese and stuff. It was just, I just hate it. I'm not a fan of truffle, full stop.
I think the problem is well, as BT says, it's the overuse, because I think the flavour of it is nice if it is really. So I've had scrambled eggs with maybe 3 dots of a really good truffle oil, and that's it's amazing, the flavour. But I think the problem is people go, oh, it's like olive oil, and they go no.
Yeah.
And then
Truffle does taste nice though. Also, I've got a little product that I found recently at Tesco that I want to put you onto. It's probably the best supermarket salami I've ever had. Basically, it's a brand called Burrito. It's a truffle and Parmesan salami sliced in a little tub about yay big, like a little hummus-sized pot. It's in like the fancy Tesco finest section with all the olives and stuff like that. And yeah, it's basically salami with like little specks of truffle on the inside of it, and it's got a Parmesan crust going around the outside of it. And it's like... It's very flavoursome, so you got to kind of commit to the flavour, but it's delicious. I'd recommend.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I just don't know if I've had a good experience with truffle.
UFC.
Mildness shamers.
Yeah, so that was in a future episode. That will happen in the future.
In terms of mild flavours in curries and stuff.
It's gonna be in next week's episode, but it's people like having a mild curry and all their friends going, oh, you can't handle a hot one. So it's mildness shamers.
So I like to eat a korma, and then I don't have any mates that are like
someone
that.
Who's going to go,
oh well, you can't eat vindaloo, boy.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Ray, here we go. Ray says, why do supermarkets change their layouts every 15 minutes?
But as it's a wine, I think he or she means supermarkets change their layouts every 15 minutes. Isn't that annoying?
It is, because I know the layout of my local Tesco back to back. I know what everything is, and they change it, and the aisles change, and I'm like, But
I totally, yes.
You have to get reused to the new layout.
I despise it. I've stopped going to certain supermarkets, so I've got so used to the layout that I've gone there and I've gone things and I've just
it's at least once a year they'll change the layout, or even just switch a few aisles round.
I was about to say, I've been going to Aldi, the same Aldi, like every week, and it hasn't changed.
I think when they said
Aldi's
every
layout
15
sucks anyway, for reference. Aldi and Lidl's layout sucks.
When they said every 15 minutes, I think they were being sarcastic.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So that'd be really
that would be
What's
really
wrong with
difficult. It's like,
why do I keep going around the fruit and veg?
But no, I hate that when they move them. So what's wrong with the Aldi and the Lidl layout?
They put things all in one place. Like if I'm trying to get a bottle of fizzy pop, there should be a fizzy pop section. Sometimes they'll just put some of them in the end of one aisle, some at the end of another aisle. They've got this weird like everything aisle in the middle where you don't really need any of the stuff in the everything aisle. You don't need to pick up a camping chair and like a baby seat in the same place. Like
wait until you have kids, mate. Wait until you have kids. You'll be like, thank God they put the Peppa Pig with the baby chair.
It's nonsense. And the fruit and veg goes off quicker and the meat goes off quicker.
Just eat it.
I wonder if the supermarkets changing their layouts is actually there's a reason behind it, that it means you'll end up looking at things that you don't normally look at and buy more stuff. I bet
Do you remember a couple of years ago where they changed them such that they couldn't have like confectionery at the end of aisles anymore? And it used to be like the dairy milk bars will be on the end of an aisle, and they changed it so they've got to be mid-aisle. Has that been reversed? I'm seeing lots of confectionery at the end of aisles again now. I don't know if that
But it used to have
law's
pick a mix
undone.
right by the checkout, which was...
Yes, I don't know about it, because I remember definitely it was because they used to be, all the sweets used to be actually at the checkouts, and that's not a thing anymore. Yeah. Although it is in Asda, because I got one of those Malteser bunnies with the popcorn.
I thought it was a law that it couldn't be anymore. But I don't know if that law has been undone because...
Right.
Well, the best one was Morrison's. Morrison had a fantastic fruit and veg market when you walked in, and then it went through to the meat counter on the left. Then you come back down. I could recall the whole shop. Come back down, do a bit of dairy, then you go back around and get your cheeses. Oh, it was great. And then you go straight back through, and then you had the fish counter. And then you skip the rest because you didn't need any of it.
But if you went in there and that had all been moved, wouldn't you be like that? Come on, guys, I know what I'm doing.
I honestly, I don't feel like I've ever been stitched up. But if you guys agree, you'll go on there.
Oh, I think that's definitely got to go on there. Okay. I hate that. Supermarkets changing layout. I tell you what, the Sainsbury's near where I live, a couple of years ago, they were closed for a month. They were going, we're doing a big refurb. And everyone was all excited, kind of going, I wonder I wonder how it's going to change. And literally, when they reopened, it was closed for a month. It was a long time for a supermarket. It was like they'd taken the fruit and veg kind of middle islands and rotated them 90 degrees. And apart from that, it all seemed the same. And it was like, what have you been doing for a month? It's ridiculous.
They got themselves lost.
And they're all like still dirty, but they didn't even clean the floor. They were like, bits of chewing gum on the floor still. And it was bizarre. Yeah.
Maybe they just went on a staff party. Ollie, do you want to add a wine? You got a wine?
Overuse of gochujang. People use it for its lack of creativity. They're going, I can put gochujang on because it's got umami, and then it's an excuse for not using any other flavours. No, if you're doing like Korean fried chicken, I want to see some extra garlic and ginger in there, probably a bit of fish sauce, bit of soy sauce. You can't just put gochujang with a bit of honey and call it a sauce. It's like, it's not enough on its own. Have you done that?
No, I haven't, but that's an impassioned wine, which I think deserves to go on. But yeah, I know what you mean, though.
He gets his arm twisted by everyone, doesn't he? He doesn't even fight the corner. He's there, fight your corner.
Don't use single
Well, I can't agree
ingredients
with
for a lack of creativity. I can't think of nice flavours to put in. I'm just going to do gochujang and honey.
Oh, that's so me.
What's
Martyn. I think we can put that on, or do you not want to put it on?
Well,
Overuse of gochujang.
It's
almost
a
the
very
same-
specific
it's the
one,
same as
gochujang, yeah.
overuse of truffle oil, really, isn't it? It's the same.
It's still an ingredient,
principle.
not a complete thing ready to go. That's my point.
Yeah.
Is that? But then it's sometimes simplicity. It's nice to have simple things that taste nice, but
yeah.
I don't know.
Well, maybe it could go with truffle oil. Overuse of truffle oil /
Gochujang.
gochujang / lazy chefing.
What? I can't read that.
I won't put miso in that category because that is a nice thing to overuse. But
Yeah, I use miso a lot. White miso.
white
that a
miso
lot.
is your
Yeah.
go-to.
Yeah.
Answers to the question of the week. So the answer to the question of the week.
Donkey.
Well, specifically, little donkey.
Little donkey.
Ah.
Do you know why?
The Mexican dish burrito is named after which animal? Little donkey. Why?
2 reasons that I researched.
It's not biblical, is it?
No. One of them is...
How did you research it? How did you know the question? Is he getting fed questions before the show?
But I researched burritos in general.
Oh.
So, yeah. So I saw how... So the 2 things that I read, one was that it's because stallholders used to pack out the beef with donkey meat. And so people started ridiculing them and calling them burritos, going, oh, you're going to have a little donkey thing, like the horse meat scandal.
Yeah.
Lasagna, blah, blah, blah.
Yummy.
And the second one was because there's so much stuff in them, it's like it resembles, the donkeys are, animals that would carry they put loads of different stuff on a donkey. So it's kind of going, it's like packed like a pack.
Well, that's what it's, yeah, most people believe it's named this as burrito to contain a lot of different things similar to how a donkey would be carrying a large burden.
Yeah.
Or some also think that the rolled tortilla resembles donkey ears.
Oh, I hadn't heard that one.
Or a donkey.
A donkey's
Not a little burrito
donkey's
anymore.
back.
Oh, a donkey's tail. Right.
It's like calling it an elephant if you make a really big one.
Ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up another episode. We hope we've kept you entertained. We hope you've inspired to wrap up a burrito.
I think you'll be inspired. Once again, make sure you follow us on social media and get involved in future episodes. And don't forget, we're on YouTube. You can see everything. So not just hear us going nom nom nom, but look at all the rice
see
on the
my
table
face.
and the wrapping and everything else. So
Yeah.
yes.
Anyway, thank you, Ollie. Thanks for coming in.
Thank
for
you
having
very
me.
much. How have you got anything you want to plug?
No.
Anything coming up?
No, all good. All good.
Okay, but I mean your
just
general shtick, I suppose. Go and find you on Instagram.
Yeah, you can go and find me on, we'll go Facebook. Yeah, El Burrito Monster on Facebook.
Oh.
Oh, right, okay.
Not for any reason. Just, it's the smallest of the platforms. So, thank you. Bye.